welcome to She's the Phoenix with Natasha Lynn. I almost said my last name again, guys. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. A lot of people already know it, but honestly, I just want to keep the kind of the protection of, it's not even really the protection. It's like, I get to be Natasha Lynn. I don't have to be any other version of who I was. Anyways, hey, hi, welcome to She's the Phoenix with your favorite host, moi. And we are gonna go on a little riff, and I don't even know what, I do know what the riff is, but I don't. So we're just gonna see what, I have a lot of different thoughts now. I've done a lot of soul searching, a lot of learning, a lot of educating. I have done a lot of failing and a lot of growing and a lot of trying again, especially in the last 3-ish years, on a personal journey, not to do with my relationships. Yes, in a big way to do with my relationships, but a lot to do with me and the boundaries within me. And my truths, and protecting myself, and understanding energy, and understanding where I give it and where I don't give it, and where I'm giving it too much. And I think that sometimes we get so caught up in sharing our energy that we don't realize how badly it's affecting us. You just get in that that pouring from a half empty cup thing, where we just are constantly just, well, it's a half full cup. No, it's actually an empty cup that we just keep saying is half full, and we're trying to pour from it. That's kind of what happens with trying to follow through and fulfill stuff, for other people. So let's talk about this whole issue. We're going to talk a little bit about, I'm sorry, I'm pulling up this little thought that I had. And let's talk about people who add to your fire versus people who take from your fire. Okay? We're going to use the analogy of a fire. Everybody has their own fire. You built it, you can add to it, you can take away from it, you can let it go out, you can let other people build to it, take away from it, and blow it out as well. Okay? And oftentimes we don't realize how much we allow people to control the fire. What I mean is that a lot of times we're in these relationships, these friendships, or romantic relationships, or relationships with our family members, or whatever it may be, that they're actually taking from our fucking fire to stoke their own fire, to start their own fire, to add to their own fire, and trying to justify that they took from the fire. Okay? So we do not let anybody take from our fire. Okay? And sometimes it's hard to realize that we're allowing that to happen at first. Because some of these people are people that we're supposed to be able to trust. People that we think are actually growing our fire, that aren't. They're here and they're taking. Okay, if some, you need to, sorry, slow down for a second. When you have a friendship or any relationship, and you do something exciting and you share that news, and they immediately want to do the same thing or the next step, like one up you. Okay? They're taking from your fucking fire. Wildly taking from your fire. I've had friendships like this where like I would do something and then like or something bad would happen. And then it would need to be worse. Like something worse would need to happen in their life so that they could like outdo where my fire was. Does that make sense? Like they would almost stoke their fire bigger or smaller depending on what was going on in my life. And I've had more than one relationship like this. I don't really know if my romantic relationships have been this way, but I can tell you that my friendships and my family relationships have been this way. And I've had to cut off a lot of people because it was not conducive to me. And I didn't realize, and even when you have everybody else pointing it out, like, hey, bitch, this person is literally just ripping the wood out your fire and lighting their own shit. They're lighting everybody else's shit too with it. Like, you know, it was to that point, and I was so in denial. And a lot of times we often are. And I think that that comes from a place of like looking for the best in people. I think that comes from a place of codependency. I think that comes from a place of weird things that happen in your childhood, where we let people just walk on us constantly, and we excuse the behavior, and we're more scared of losing somebody who doesn't even respect us, because we are so like our self-love, our self-value is so low. So if somebody in your life needs to be like, when this happens, when you say something good or something bad happened, and maybe in that moment they're excited or they're sad for you or whatever, but within a very short amount of time, this is, I mean, usually it's very quickly, 24, 48, a week, you know, like 24, 48 hours, maybe a week. It does not take long. And they have something equally as exciting or traumatic happening now in their life. Something has to be going right or wrong in the same direction as you, but bigger, more dramatic. It has to. If that is something that you see occurring, and let me remind you that it's hard to see it happening. Sometimes we need to take a step back. If you don't feel 100% in your friendship, or sometimes you feel like there's something that's just a little bit off, you need to step back and you need to analyze the relationship. Are they supportive? Am I supportive of them? Is there jealousy happening on either end of this relationship? Is there open communication happening? How do they show up for me? How do I show up for them? Do we have clear boundaries and expectations in this relationship? It doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is. It doesn't matter if you've been friends for 15 years. It doesn't matter if it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, whatever, okay? If there are not clear boundaries on what is okay and what is not okay, and also if it is clear that they are jealous of the situation, and not just, and I mean like, oh my God, they're so jealous, but they're trying to literally take away from your fire to stoke their own fucking fire, guys, there's problems here. We need to do a cold cut off. You need to let their fire burn out. You need to let whatever is igniting the fire between the two of you, it needs to burn the fuck out, okay? Sometimes you can set the boundary and then they'll pick it up and they'll get it and they'll change. But there's a lot of times where that's not the case. A lot of people are so comfortable with taking from somebody else that they will not even admit that they are doing it, that they're in the wrong, that there is something that needs to be changed, that they're struggling. And you know, this isn't just like they're the worst person in the world and they're taking from you. There's something internally wrong with somebody. And it doesn't mean like, I don't mean that in some like horrible, rude way. What I mean is that they're hurting in some way, but they're taking it out on you. And if they're not willing to admit that, recognize that, and work through that, they're not for you. They're going to continue to always fucking take from your fire. They're never going to add to it. Or on a rare occasion where they do add to it, they will always take it back away. It will never be a full-on Just here, let me add something to your flame. Let me add something to your life. And not everything is about adding something to somebody else's life. Sometimes it's just pairing beautifully right next to each other where you can stoke your own fire, they can stoke their own fire, and you have two, it could not even be the same book, the same topic, paths, but you still have this area where you coincide together beautifully while you each have your own fire. Okay? Not everything is about doing the same things and being in the same spot in life. You can have friends in different spots in life. And does that mean that you're probably going to spend every single day with them? No, because you're in different spots in your life. But if somebody is coming and taking away from what is happening in your life, then you need to reevaluate that situation. We are not here to just give out our energy, give out our time, give out all of our knowledge, all of the things that we do to make us us for everybody else. That is their own journey. It is not the journey that you need to give to somebody else. You are living your own journey. You are stoking your own fire. You are figuring out how to light the fire of help add to the fire of other people that you care and appreciate. And this is it's really hard because this is a lot of, it's actually truly self-reflection. It has nothing, in all honesty, to do with anybody else. At the end of the day, yes, if somebody else is taking from your fire or not taking from your fire, that's a big deal. But at the end of the day, it has everything to do with you. What are you allowing in your life? Do you have boundaries for yourself? Because if you're consistently like turning your head and looking the other way while you're letting somebody literally fucking put out your fire, there's internal things that you need to work on. There's things that why do you not think that you are worth, why do you not think you're worth it? Why is it okay for somebody to take so much from you? Why is it that you are comfortable with watching someone grow from the things that you did? And I don't mean that people can't grow from you. I mean that they take your experience, they take whatever you've learned, your lesson, and they've created it and made it into their own lesson and thing and made it about them. That is not how the fuck it works. Okay? We need to get real honest with ourselves and have boundaries with ourselves and start respecting ourselves a little bit more. It takes a lot of work to realize that it's pretty clear when the cup is being drained, when you feel exhausted, overexerted, when you can see just, oh God, what is it? No, I can't. My fire fucking analogy is not working now because what am I trying to say here? Just the coals, the ashes, if that's what's the only thing that's going in your fire, there's something wrong. If the people around you see that and are not doing anything about it to support you and support you and you doing something to light it up again, bitch, you got the wrong support group. It ain't a support group, honey. You are more alone than you think. You are honestly even further alone than what alone is. You're at a place where you are just so vulnerable and open to it that you are just allowing people to just rob you of your life. And we need to stop doing that, okay? We're done doing that. It took me a long time because I was a people pleaser. I want everybody to be happy. I want people to say, I have abandonment issues. I want people to want to be around me. If that means that you want to take from me, that's fine. If that means that you need more attention than me, that's fine. All these things. Guess what? It's not fucking fine with me anymore. You don't have to take from me. You don't have to take my experience and twist it to make it your own no, it's not gonna work like that. Okay? You don't get to take from me unless I'm willing to give it. That's the difference now. I choose where I put my energy. Okay? If I want to help somebody, I'm doing it because I am, one, okay. If it never comes back around and they don't get the chance to help me back, I'm okay with it. Two, because I know that this person would follow through for me or has followed through for me. Okay? That's the relationships that we're going for. You are looking for somebody. Not every friendship in the world is somebody going to be the next level from you, the level you want to be at, places you aspire to go. But when you're looking at your friend group, and you're looking at the people that you surround yourself with every day, even if it's family members, are these people that align with you? Are these people that have things similar to what you want? Are these people that are trying to grow in the way you're trying to grow? If they aren't, and if you're answering no to those questions, then you need to remove yourself from the space that you're hanging out in. It can be very lonely, but I will promise you this, it will be much less exhausting and much more fulfilling to not exert yourself in places where you are constantly stoking everybody else's fire and yours is constantly fucking burnt out. Okay? That's not how it's supposed to work. Not every person is supposed to just, make your fire take off into a bonfire, but they're not supposed to take from it either. When you're reaching in and you're helping light up theirs more, they're reaching in and helping light up yours more. Okay? And that comes with boundaries, it comes with self-reflection, it comes with, the hard stuff, the hard shit. That, hey, this was my experience. I've had this happen many times in my life. Many, many, many times. I go to school, where I started college. I have friends start college. It's more important. I went through a traumatic loss. When the traumatic loss happened, actually, it kind of really just filtered out basically fucking everybody. If we're being honest. There was a few. And by a few, I mean, like, outside of my family, like, 2, that were trying to help keep my fire lit, because outside circumstances had blown out the whole thing. But I had 2 people who were trying their hardest, and every fucking day trying to add to it, trying to build it back up, trying to keep it going, blowing on it, huddling around it, giving it more oxygen. And literal way, and in a non-literal way, excuse me, they were giving my life CPR and trying to help me live. Okay? Those are fucking friends. Okay? Or people that you want in your life. Because I can tell you, I lived in a house full of grieving adults that were all my family, and there was more selfishness involved in that situation than there ever was kindness. I don't mean they were just flat out rude, but I mean they were so wrapped up in their own grief, which I understand they were grieving. But there were things that were like, I needed support. I needed somebody to hold my baby for 10 minutes while I took a shower. I needed somebody to come in and say, hey, get up, put clothes on, let's go do something. Hey, let's get this baby out in the sunshine for a little bit. Hey, let's go cook your favorite thing. And I had 2 people who would come and they would bring me food, and they would bring me milkshakes, and they'd bring me coffee, and they would just basically they just tried to keep me alive by feeding me. Because I wasn't okay. But what I'm telling you is that they continued to put in my fire even when I couldn't put in theirs. But I know that I had put in their fire. I had added to it. And when I could again, I did. And I have since. And my gratefulness for that time period in my life where I felt like I could literally not freaking breathe is, I can't even explain it. I had a baby, so I had to stay alive. But the only reason that I truly stayed alive was because those people were there and they showed up for me. They kept my fire going when I couldn't. Okay? So we set the boundaries of this whole fire thing. Okay? This means that you don't just let people you do not just let anyone do anything, okay? You don't just let people walk up and just take. There is a gate now around the fire. There are questions to be asked when coming to get into the fire or coming to add to the fire, if they say they are, because there are, what is that? Wolves in sheep's clothing, okay? People that pretend like they're going to add only to take. We need to get more serious about this. Why are you here? What are your intentions? What kind of relationship are you looking for? This is what I'm okay with. This is what I will allow. My boundaries are here. We don't take from my fire without asking. I will not take from your fire without asking. When I want to add to your fire, I want to make sure that it's something you want added. Okay? And people say that this makes us sensitive and over. It doesn't. Guess what? It's called communication. Communication, open, honest, and clear, makes it so that you don't have to set fucking boundaries constantly and you're not filtering out all the assholes who just want to take from you, okay? When you're clear and concise about what the fuck you want and what you will allow, then you don't have to worry about having everybody just take. But being loud, being assertive, and being firm and knowing what you are and knowing what the fuck you're here for and what the fuck you're okay with has been told that it's just rude, it's bossy, it's bitchy, it's over the top, it's extra, it's too much. Well, I don't care. I don't fucking care because this is my life, right? It's your life. It's your boundaries. It's your space. It's your safety. It's your comfort. So if you're not setting those boundaries and you're not protecting your space, nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else is saving you, baby. You know, I, in some weird way, think that that's actually not true. Some people will try to save you, but you have to choose to allow that to happen still, okay? People can try all the live long day, but if you are just not willing to get up and fight for it, it's just not going to happen. You have to have the boundary. And we are letting the blood-sucking little vampires, the fire thieves, we are giving them the bird. We are telling them to kindly fuck off and find somebody else to take from. Because you are no longer available for that, okay? We are no longer available for relationships that make us feel like shit. We are no longer available for friendships that take and never replenish, okay? We are no longer available for people who want to outdo our trauma. That is weird. That is not normal, okay? If you have relationships in your life and they want to outdo your trauma, if they're explaining, when you are just venting and their reaction is to tell you what happened to them in a very dramatic way and without your permission first, that is not healthy. That is not normal, and it is something that you need to set a boundary on. If you feel like you cannot have that conversation with them, it does not mean that you have to cut off that relationship, but it does mean that you need to be clear on what you cannot talk to them about certain things, and you need to be aware of that. Because when you do, you're allowing somebody to take. You're allowing somebody to take away from you. And at some point, it's okay to listen to what they have to say, but not when you are initiating a conversation, okay? It should be pretty clear. If you're sitting there saying this really shitty thing happened today, the normal response, the appropriate response to things like that, one, is when you have somebody who wants to share something negative with you or frustrating with you, the appropriate thing to ask them first is, did you just want me to listen, or did you want me to give advice or give input on this situation? Ask it first, because then you know how you should be listening. It's not always about fixing it. Two, you know, because that's another way that you can take. You're taking their experience, you're robbing them of the experience that they need to have. Sometimes we accidentally take from fires and we don't even realize that we're doing it. You don't just get to come in and say, hey, oh, let me fix that for you. Oh, let me fix that for you. Okay, it goes into my rant of it's okay to be the bad guy in somebody's story if it means that you're not, you've stopped taking from them, okay? Sometimes it's simply also the bad guy in the story is that you are a fixer. You're trying to always fix it, and they didn't ask for you to fix it. And instead of when you go to fix it, you're actually taking the fire away still instead of adding to it, okay? Or the fire staying exactly where it's at, and they are not able to add to their own fire because you took the lesson, the experience, the situation away from them. Guess what happens? You both will continue to experience that. They will continue to experience a form of whatever happened until they take initiative to say, no, you can't do that. And you will continue to experience trying to fix things until you realize that it's not your fucking job. It's actually sometimes a hindrance that you try to fix everything, and that it's a self issue, and that you need to reflect on why the fuck it is that you need to fix everything for everybody else. What else are you avoiding in your life? And what didn't get fixed in you, and why are you trying to fix it for everybody else? How about we just fix what we need to fix for ourselves, okay? That goes with that you can have this awesome fire, your friend can have an awesome fire, and you can have this thing in the middle that's just wonderful. That doesn't mean that either one of you ever had to touch the other person's fire. It's probably unlikely. You're going to, okay? You're probably going to add without even realizing that you're adding. But that's the beauty of what it's supposed to be. That's the beauty of what the relationship is supposed to be, is that you accidentally add, or that you unknowingly are adding, okay? Or maybe we are aware of the fact that you add to it. But it is a it's not cohesive. It's on the same. What is the word? I don't even know. But you're both adding to it. Okay, you're both adding to each other's fire equally, fairly. That's how it's supposed to be, baby. It ain't supposed to be some crazy shit where everybody just gets to take. We need to set some boundaries in our lives. Too many of us are running around too scared to set the boundaries, and we're just letting everybody just fucking take, and it is burning us out, quite literally, okay? If setting boundaries makes you an asshole, be an asshole. I don't know how else to say that. I will tell you that setting boundaries means that you don't have that many friends. But you know what you do have? Peace. You have energy. You have time to stoke your own fire. You have the ability to feel creative again. You don't feel like you're being robbed of everything. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of good that comes from having the boundary and the fence around the fire, okay? Not that I suggest a wooden one, because you stoke that bitch too big and you'd be lighting it up, and then there you go. All your boundaries are just gone, okay? It's about balance. And at the end of the day, it's about you respecting yourself enough, loving yourself enough, caring for yourself enough, showing up for yourself enough to know what you deserve. And we're all learning how to do that. We're not perfect at it. Not a single fucking one of us is perfect at it, okay? But we're done. We're done just letting everybody rob us of whatever it is that we, of the fire. That's my rant. I love you guys. I felt like this was relevant, to just my life right now. I feel like in a lot of ways, I am so okay letting people take. I take that back. I was so okay with letting people just take or outdo what was going on. And I didn't want to be the center of attention. The truth is that I like being the center of attention. And not in some, oh my God, I'm so perfect, look at me, everybody look at me. And yes, there's sometimes where I want everybody to look at me. You know why? Because I fucking earned that shit. Because I worked my ass off for it. Because I deserve to be recognized for what the fuck I'm doing. Because I do big shit that's hard to do. And I'm not scared to say that I deserve that. I deserve people who look at me and go, damn, thank you. Look at you. How are you doing that? That's what I want. And you know what I want to say in response to this? Let me show you. Let me help you. I would love to show you what I'm doing. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing what I'm doing, because all I want to do is bring awareness to shit. All I want to do is help people heal. It's not just about me. I share my fire with anybody who needs to be lit back the fuck up, okay? Rising from the ashes. It's not just all about me, but it is. It's my life. It's okay for it to be all about you. It's your fucking life. It's not anybody else's to live. When people look back, they're not going to be like, oh, look what she did for everybody else. Oh, look, Linda stayed small so that Angela could grow. No. What the fuck? No. They're going to be like, could you believe? Look at the life she lived or he lived. Look at all the things that they experienced. It's inspirational. It's motivational. It lights people the fuck up. The point of your life is to light yourself the fuck up, okay? We're not here to just throw it to everybody else. It took me a long time to realize, like, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable to set that boundary because it's with parents. It's been with my mom. I've had to say, Mom, I'm venting right now. I should have told you that I didn't need you to give me advice. And also, this is not an appropriate time to talk about your trauma, okay? It's not. To me, it's not. I didn't ask for a trauma comparison. I didn't want it. And I know that's really put my mom on blast, but it's the truth. Sometimes me and my mom have some really hard conversations. You know what the coolest thing about the conversations that me and my mom have, though? Even when we get really pissed at each other, we come back, we reflect, we leave, we stay pissed, we reflect about it, we work it through, and then we come back and we fucking talk about it. And we own up to our shit. Okay? If you have a relationship like that, it's worthy of sticking around. It's worthy of fixing. That person is worthy of the understanding that you can provide. It's worth it because they're trying to grow too, okay? Not every person is going to be at the same level or above you. You're going to have people that are a little bit behind you, but as long as they're trying to keep up or they're trying to level up and wherever the hell they're at, they're worthy of sticking around you. The people who are pissed off at you and just want to blame you for the shit that has actually nothing to do with you and everything to do with themselves, but somehow they've taken your life, turned it around, and made it about them, which is so fucking weird, by the way. So fucking weird. Those are people that you just need to let go of. Let them fucking go. Okay? Because they're just going to keep doing it. And you're just going to feel frustrated. And your fire's going to keep going out because you keep trying to pour and give away fire that doesn't fucking need to be given away. It is not worth it. Did I make my point, y'all? Sorry, I get a little passionate about this shit because I let people walk on me for so long. And what even drives me more nuts is that I was super aware of it. I was super aware of that fact that I was being treated like shit, but I was so scared that nobody else would love me and that I would just have to accept the bare fucking minimum from people, from my friendships, from my relationships with my family, from just in general. Okay? And actually in my romantic relationships too. I allowed the bare fucking minimum. The bare minimum. Sometimes not even that. Sometimes it was disgusting, the things that I allowed to be happening in my relationship. But I don't anymore. I fucking don't. Because I deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve to have good shit happen in your life. You deserve to have people who want to add to you. Okay? Okay. I love y'all. So sorry for that crazy rant. If that... Actually, I'm not sorry even a little bit. It's something that you need to know. This is Mama Tosh chewing you out. This is me telling you that you're worth it. You're worth it. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter how much trauma you have. It doesn't matter if you were a shitty person 3 days ago and you made the worst decision out of the situation that you could have. It doesn't fucking matter. Because the fact that you chose to reflect on it, the fact that you chose to acknowledge that you did something wrong, the fact that you chose that you want to do it better, that says fucking enough, okay? That's enough. That's more than enough. We're so busy trying to find more so that we can be enough. You're fucking enough because you're enough. There doesn't need to be any additive. There's nothing that you need to add to you to be enough. You were born enough. You've been enough. When you were a kid, you were enough. When you were a little baby, you were enough. When you were a toddler, when you were learning how to walk, when you were learning how to talk, you were more than enough. When you were a teenager and you were being an honorary asshole to your parents, you were still fucking enough. When you made that wrong decision when you were 22, you were still fucking enough, okay? You always been enough. So treat yourself like you're fucking enough and set those boundaries. I love you guys, okay? I love you guys so much. So listen, here's the deal. I'm gonna tell you, like always. Welcome to She's the Phoenix. If this is the first episode you're listening to, we don't always go crazy and rant, but they are fun when they happen. If you feel like this connected to you or reminded you of somebody that you know that just needs to hear this, okay, send it to them. Share it. Share it with everybody, please. It helps me, but it helps heal. I'm here to help heal, to help grow, to help understand, to help get a different perspective. If you have a different perspective than what I said, feel free to come at me. I don't mean that rudely, but if you feel like you need to share your different perspective, message me, comment on my stuff, find me on a social, comment on whatever you need to on my social, or message me on social. I think that you can leave a review on the podcast, so review it, leave 1 star if you need to. Tell me what's going on. Preferably don't leave me 1 star. But leave a review. Share, okay? Share your perspective on things. I love the engagement. I love the conversation. Even if your perspective is totally opposite of mine, here's the thing about it, is that it's your perspective. It doesn't have to be mine. It never has to be mine. I never have to align with it or agree with it, but I will respectfully have a conversation with you as long as you respectfully have a conversation with me about it. And I will be willing to learn from you as long as you're willing to learn from me. So there's that. Anyways, we're wrapping it up. My name is Natasha Lynn. This is called She's a Phoenix Podcast. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on TikTok as She's a Phoenix Podcast. You can find me on Facebook as Natasha Lynn. You can find me on Instagram, Natasha Lynn _official. Okay. Yeah. Connect with me, hang out, come follow me. It helps bring awareness. It helps me grow, helps my message get out there more. Come banter with me. If you have opposing views, come at me in my comment section. Come at me in a message. Let's talk, let's chat, let's get it out there. Okay. You're worth it. Your boundaries are fucking worth it. You're enough. Stop letting people steal from your fucking fire. Okay? There are more than enough people in this world that will add to your fire. You have people that are waiting to find you and that need you just as much as you need them. Okay? So stop letting people steal from you as if that's the only option that you have, because it fucking isn't. It isn't. You will find your way. And the more boundaries you set, the more you'll realize that you'll be able to find the people that you need, okay? Because you were looking in all the wrong places. And you're allowing people from the wrong places to show up. And now you're not doing that anymore. Okay, I'm done. I love you guys so much. Talk to you next time. Bye.